Nomad Podcast.
Hi, Efrat. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, I just have two questions for you today.
Yeah.
How did you get into Bitcoin?
I
That's my
got
first
into Bitcoin after a really hard time during COVID. So
question.
when COVID started at 2020, slowly, you know how our rights were taken away from
Yeah.
us and lockdowns
Freedom of speech.
and
Yeah.
masks and freedom of speech, and then vaccines. And I was one that was not willing to participate in an experiment. So I didn't want to take the jab. And so I spoke out about it. And I tried to show people that you shouldn't let the state invade your bodily autonomy and tell you what to do with your body, because it's your own choice what you choose to do with your body. I was anti-coercion and anti-discrimination. And so when COVID kind of ended or faded out, a very good friend of mine who is the head of the Bitcoin community in Israel, he wasn't my friend at the time, but he was just following my work during COVID. He came over to my office and he said, "You're ready to be orange pilled. You've been red pilled. Now you need to be orange pilled. Sit down. I'm going to teach you everything about Bitcoin." I told him, "Thank you. I was waiting for someone to teach me about Bitcoin." And he did. And he helped me do the first transaction. And basically what led me to go to that direction is that when I understood that they're going to invade their state is trying to invade my bodily autonomy, the next thing they're going to do is try to invade my property and my money.
And your
so
privacy.
I need to learn about money, and I learned about money, and then Bitcoin, obviously, because that's the path for me for establishing my sovereignty and freedom. And so, yeah, once I found Bitcoin, I was like, bring it on.
Bring it
That's
on.
what we need.
I mean, invading someone's privacy
Boundaries,
and
yes.
boundaries is never a thing you should ever do. And the state did it anyway because they don't care. They only care about profit. So, do you think currently we are at war with the state? Because they always say, "Oh, World War III is going to be nuclear." I'm like, no. World War III is a state against people. Do you think
That's right. You
it's
know
the case?
the saying, there's no red versus blue. There's the state against you, right? I really think that we are on a trajectory where the state, but not just the state, is at war with the people of the world. So essentially, the way I see it is a bit more of a zoomed out picture. It's not just the government and the state. There are global powers that are basically trying to continue operating that same fiat slavery system so that they can get our productivity in return to the money that they need to constantly create to continue blowing that bubble of fiat, right? It's not just about the money, it's also about control and surveillance. So they really want ultimate control over humanity so that they can continue having that slave race called humanity that they can continue suck out the productivity from. And so I think that the first step you need to take in order to see the bigger picture is to firstly understand that it's the state against you, because the state is the executor. It's the entity that the global powers are giving the authority to roll out all these weird agendas towards the people, right? So if you realize that the state is not there to protect you or to serve you or to do what's right for you, even though they claim they are, it's all bullshit, it's all lies. Then once you start seeing that, you can see through that, and then you can start seeing the bigger picture of how bigger global powers are essentially trying to control our freedoms and our life.
Controlling
yeah,
it.
I'm saying that with a smile. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
such a
But
big.
controlling is
It's
a
not
good
such a
word
big.
because Czech Republic used to be communistic,
Exactly.
and now what they're trying to do is a digital communist
That's right.
regime, basically.
It's a digital communism. That's a very good way to put it. And I think that they're trying to color it like a
good thing,
Western democracy,
Western democracy,
and it's very modern and we're very progressive. But at the time, it's all a charade, and it's a front for digital communism in the background, and people don't realize that. So the first thing is to see through the lie and realize that the state is not there to protect you. You're on your own. Now start seeing the bigger picture, even if it hurts, even if it's hard to understand or to fathom, because you don't want all your life to be completely broken up to pieces because your whole life you have believed that someone's there to protect you. But that's the sad reality, and I think people need to know that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Nomad Podcast.